Hello, my dear and lovely Taurus. This is your horoscope for September 2024. And September will catch you from the beginning because September will be a very important month, astrologically speaking. We have eclipse starting in September, one of the pair of the eclipse happening in September. The next one, 2 weeks later, we will have in October. So these 2 months, astrologically speaking, will be very important. And also, September will set the tone, for the 2 areas of your life that will get activated and, will be active throughout next half year, even until April 2025. Now, the first of the planets who will set the tone will be Uranus, planet of surprises and shocking revelations, also planet of electricity. From, on the 1st September, exactly from the beginning, it will go backwards, will slow down. And Uranus is transiting your sign, my dear Taurus, for the past couple of years. Now it's transiting your first house. Now moving backwards, meaning slowing down until 30th of January 2025. So it's pretty much a long time, around half of the year. And it's, retrograding exactly same period like last year, from September until January. And you might get, Uranus is a karmic planet. It's a planet of, it affects us more on the subconscious level and what we think daily. We don't necessarily say all those things, what is in our mind, what is occupying our mind, and Uranus will be like those sort of a background noise, kind of background topics that are like in our head, time to time popping up in your mind. And, Uranus did the same retrograde last year during same period. Now you might have quite a lot of deja vu moments, like this happened last year, this happened already once with me, something, this kind of, feelings. You might be thinking about decisions that you've made last year from September until January. And you might be again going into that state, of evaluating your decisions, let's say, that you've taken during the same period last year. Or you might be just catching yourself on the thought that it's happening again, it's repeating itself, or sort of, catching yourself on the thoughts that you've done this before, or just thinking about your decisions that you've made last year. Now, next week, 3rd of September, we have new moon. New moons are all about new beginnings. And this new moon is happening in your house of joy, 5th house, house of kids and house of true love. It's a, 5th house in astrology. It's all about flirting. It's all about romance. It's the love house. And what we enjoy doing, because this is a joy house. That's why business is here, because we create business. It's like our kids. That's why children are here, because we create them out of joy also. And our creativity is here, like talents, hobbies, especially those of you who are singers, actors, like artists, some sort of, you guys are all here on the 5th house. Now, new moon is happening exactly there at 11 degrees. This new moon will be speaking directly to those of you who are born on 2nd of May, plus or minus 5 days. Now, new moon will receive harsh beam from Saturn. And Saturn is, planet of responsibilities and planet of heavy work. It's a karmic planet and planet of restrictions. Now, Saturn is transiting your 11th house of big events. It's our friendship house, and also everything online, all things related online. Now Saturn, making that harsh angle to that new moon, and that angle is more like of a, let's say, relationship aspect that will be making to that new moon. Seems like your expectations, because 11th house is our future house, what we wish for ourselves, where we are moving or where we wish to be, and our dreams. Now, 11th house, Saturn being there is sort of limiting, or it's giving you sort of a picture there. Let's say you've got a picture in your head, but this new moon comes in your 5th house, and that picture kind of doesn't match with the message of this new moon. Sort of there might be some sort of friction or an issue, especially for those of you guys who are, let's say, dating. It's not about serious relationships. You've just recently dating. You don't know that person so well, and there is not even a year, and it's not let's say, committed relationship. You, let's say, flirting, and there is romance, and there is a love. This kind of relationship. Now, this new moon comes in your fifth house and sort of sobers you up. It might give you a new perspective on this relationship. Newfound love, let's say. It might give you sort of open your eyes, because Saturn is a sober planet, let's say, so much very icy planet that will make you sober. And look, this new moon might with Saturn together might make you take off your rose glasses, let's say, pink glasses, and to look at your relationship with a true and honest perspective. Now, Saturn rules your ninth house in your natal chart, which suggests that most probably that relationship involves a foreigner, someone who is not from your cultural, let's say, origin or national origin, or I don't know, country origin. So someone who is different than you, or someone who speaks different language than you. Now, this is one case, and for some of you guys, it might not be even involving, let's say, love. If you say, I'm happily married, if you say, I'm single and I'm not dating, then, by the way, this new moon might bring a new person into your life. But at the same time, as I said, there is a friction. Seems like that person won't be, you might be looking at that person and, let's say, liking and flirting, but at the same time, thinking that person doesn't fit into your future picture, of your life. This might be the case too. Now, for those of you whose situation is not this one, like not totally different, then it might be about business, because new moon is happening exactly in your fifth house, and it's a house of business, as I said. It's also our child. It's also what we create out of joy, because fifth house is house of joy. Now, we treat business as our kid. We want it to grow. We want it to be successful. We want it to, make us a profit, right? Now, this new moon comes, and it seems like there might be, especially for those of you guys who are involved in business with friends, or with some sort of associations like big companies or organizations, especially NGOs like United Nations or any other NGOs. It seems like that partnership is not, there is some sort of issue there. Your friend or that another party who is involved in that business will pose some sort of struggle there, and it might be related to anything, actually, like to money or to profit or to cooperation itself. But most probably it might be about actually attitude and relationship with the person there, with your friend, or with someone who is a contact person with say that organization, if that's your party who you're working with. Or if you are like opening around this time your new business, make sure to have a social aspect to that business, like how surrounding people will welcome that business, and if that will be successful media wise, because 11th house is the house of online things, internet. And if your business will involve those kind of things or anything else, but the marketing might be an issue, around this new moon, I would suggest you actually to open your business some other time, not September, because September better not to make any decisions, because we have, as I said, also eclipse in September. Coming back to this new moon, for some of you guys, it might be about kids. If you say it's not about business, I don't have a business, or I have a successful business, and if you say I'm not dating and I'm happily married, then it might be about your kids, because fifth house also involves our kids. It covers our children, and here it seems like there is a let's say there might be millions of situations, but an example that I might give you, but just so you know that there is let's say your kid or any other kid or pregnancy journey that is involved, and at the same time your future is involved, or bigger society is involved, or a friend is involved. It might be your friend who, let's say, who have problems with your kids, let's say, or there might be some sort of event that will go wrong, that your children wanted to participate, or it might be about their future, what they want to become in life. They might have a bit of questions there, and you might be trying to help them to sort out. So it might be related to your children here too, my dear Taurus. And in case of love situation, I would like to also add here, your situation might be involved also a friend. Maybe friends of your newfound partner are not sort of welcoming you. Maybe you don't like them, or there might be some sort of, dislike of each other between his friends or her friends and you. This might be the situation too. And make sure that there is not a third wheel. You know what I mean? It's like because fifth house is the house of love triangles too, and new moon is happening here. It might bring this sort of a situation into your life, my dear Taurus. Take care on that. Another thing to say here is the ruler of the new moon, Mercury, that will be in your house of home, house of family, which is still in shadow period because it just came out from retrograde motion, meaning slowing down, and now it's taking, getting a pace and getting faster. Will receive another harsh beam from Uranus, planet of surprises and shocking news, which is in your first house, that went retro, as I said, that went backwards, that went slow. Now, here, these two planets, they suggest that something about past might be an involving element, sort of a shocking element in that situation that new moon is bringing. It might be the past of some past event, or sort of a past someone in the past, person from the past, or some unresolved situation there. And you might get to know about that, because Uranus is a shocking, let's say, planet, and it will bring that, and it's putting the harsh angle to that Mercury, the ruler of that new moon, and hold this situation around this new moon, around 3rd of September, plus or minus 5 days, allow it those days to bring the news. Seems like will involve someone or something, or some situation from the past. It doesn't matter of your past or your friends or your love person, let's say, interest. Now, but in this whole situation, there will be other karmic planets that will be supporting that new moon. So there is a saving squad there. Now, Neptune, planet of imagination and magic, that will be situated in your 11th house, and Pluto, that is in your 9th house, will try to save the day, save the relationship or event, whatever it is there in your situation. Both of them retrograde motion. Again, it's about past, but it's a karmic planets. They will try to soften that Uranus, like harsh beam that is sending to the ruler of the new moon. Seems like you might have been sort of known that situation, or you might have heard about that situation before, so it won't, at the end of the day, it might not be even like a huge surprise to you. Sort of intuition here might work. So those two planets will be helping you to sort out the situation that this new moon is bringing, my dear Taurus. Now, next we have 9th of September, Mercury moving into your 5th house. Now, Mercury is all about our mind, is all about communication and also commerce and trade. And it's moving into your 5th house where this new moon happened on 3rd of September. It might be the news will hit you around 9th of September when Mercury hits your 5th house, and those things, the situation and message of this new moon might actually happen around 9th of September as soon as it enters your 5th house, and you will get busy and your mind will totally switch onto that situation. Now, Mercury is pretty interesting here in September because it will change 3 signs. Because before 10th of September, it was in your 4th house. Seems like your mind was on all things family, family and real estate related. And 10th of September, it will move into your 5th house, and it will bring the message of this new moon, and you might be busy with your, let's say, area of your life that is joy, or business or children in this case. Or if you're involved in your talents and hobbies, it might be creativity situation there, and by the way, about this new moon and your creativity, if you are in the creative area, like art area, you're an artist or anything sort of, singer, it seems like this new moon will be a bit of a harsh on you. I would suggest you don't be harsh on yourself. Just let it go, and always prize yourself and value your talents and hobbies, because this new moon might be some sort of a bit of a emotional turmoil in this case. Now, and by the end of September, 26th of September, Mercury will finally change to the third sign. It will slip into your sixth house. Now, sixth house will be all work related. Seems like your focus by the end of September will switch to your work situation, to what you do daily. And in some case, my dear Taurus, it might be about health situation. Now, let's talk about Mars, because Mars is the second planet who will set the tone of September and onwards for the next half year, even until April. It's almost like 7-8 months. Now, 4th of September, Mars, planet of action, desire. It's our engine in our universe, you know. Now, Mars will move into your third house. And it's quite a long time to spend Mars in your third house until April 2025. Can you imagine that? As soon as Mars moves into your third house, it will activate the topic, an area of your life that will be active in the next half year until April, until it leaves that house. Because it will be back right after New Year on January, and then will leave in April. Meanwhile, it will be retrograding, of course. That's why it will spend so long time in your third house, meaning moving backwards. Mars retrogrades every 2 years. Now, this happens every 2 years, and it seems like the universe is trying to tell you something about that area of your life that is responsible, like under third house. Now, third house is all about siblings, and if you don't have them, then it might be about your relatives or neighbors that we daily communicate, because third house is the people of our immediate surroundings that we talk every day. And when Mars moves into your third house, it will activate your maybe communication with your sibling, and it might be even more during the next half year. You might get busy with their life, their problems, their situations, their issues, or something. You might be helping them with something, maybe some sort of their relationship is or something's going on in their life, like your brother or sister is getting married, let's say, or getting divorced, anything sort of, or giving a birth as well, or getting pregnant, and you might be helping with the kid, or any sort. I can give you millions of examples, so you just know what is the situation here, what is the topic here. I'm sure that you will know what is it about. As soon as September starts, when Mars goes into your third house, your siblings come up and knock on your door. Now, for those of you who doesn't have siblings, let's say, it might be about your neighbor's life. You might get involved so much into your neighbor's life up until April, my dear Taurus, or some sort of relatives, actually. The third house is also communication house, it's where we speak. It's all about languages now, and it's a courage house where we are brave. What kind of topics we are talking, and what kind of people are we surrounded with, and all these things. Now, and it's also about telephone, computer, all communication devices as well, third house. For some of you guys, it might be those topics. Like you might start writing a book, let's say, or you might start a podcast, or you might start speaking something, let's say, for the whole world, or to, let's say, small amount of people that you're going to see, I don't know, every week, or more often, let's say. It might be some sort of project that is involving communication, like speaking, public speaking, or writing something. Third house is also about new skills. It's a courses, short-term trainings. For the next half year, it seems like until April, some of you guys might take up some courses and trainings to upgrade your skill. Let's say you are like a mom who is on a maternity leave, or a father who's on a paternity leave, and now is the time came to go back to work, but at the same time you think that you will need new skills or maybe new position, and you will start preparing yourself, and you might get involved into some sort of studies that are short term, not long term, like a degree or something, but those are that will bring at the end some sort of certificates, like driving license. Some of you guys might actually go to driving school to start learning it, or I don't know, some drawing school, any skill actually. Nowadays is like AI, I don't know, coding, all these things, software engineering, all these things. It might be that you will take up some course in September that you will finish in April. Maybe in between you might give up for some period, because Mars will be retrograding, moving slow, or it might be because of tutor or your teacher or some other like circumstances that it might have a pause, it might have a delay, for any other like reason, like maybe technical reason or whatever reason is that there. But the finish date will be April, my dear Taurus, so that you know if you're signing up to some sort of courses and trainings. And the third house is also short distance travels house. Now it seems like until April you might start traveling like back and forth to some place, to the same exact place. It might be because of your work, or maybe because of your spouse, your partner in committed relationship, because of your wife or husband or long-term partner. Let's say they moved somewhere else and you will be like traveling between the two cities to see them, and at the same time finishing up something in your own place or having life there still. I don't know, like they might be going to some time or seasonal job there, and you might be going there back and forth, while Mars will be transiting your third house as a short distance travel. And Mars is the action planet. Seems like there's a lot of travel is involved, and it's a short distance, so you remember, like up to 2 hours only by car or by a plane. Something might be for some reason, any reason. Maybe you will start, let's say, going to some retreat to boost your health, let's say, or immune system, or getting some sort of rest. Or you might decide to get some therapy, and you might be traveling, to some distance, and up until April again, because as I said, Mars will leave your third house only in April. And putting so much attention from the universe to this your area of your life, usually gives this sort of manifestations in a material plane, let's say. Now, for some of you, it might be actually about car transportation, as I said, because this is also like, when we deliver news or some sort of communication, with what we deliver. Either it's a telephone or a computer, or could be a car also, transportation, third house, any sort of transportation, bicycle, postmen in the past, they were on bicycle, let's say. Now, your situation might be totally different, might be only related to transportation. Let's say you are set a goal to sell a car, for example, or buy a car. And that, agreement and purchase and whole process might actually end up being so long that it will finish and finalize only next year, April. So that my dear Taurus, some things might be on the pause in the middle of this whole period until April. How many months we have? Like 6 to 7 months. So there might be some sort of a whole long process. It doesn't matter what is the reason. Might be because of the procedures, because of the papers, because of other person who's selling or who's buying, who's trying to sell to you, or I don't know. Or it might be because of your personal reasons, any reason, could be a distance. So just whatever comes to your mind. If that is your situation, that you want to buy a car, so that you remember that you might actually end up finalizing it only in April. So actually better to postpone a bit. You still have time. Anyhow, Mars won't leave your area of your life until April. So better maybe next year to buy a car right after New Year, because September is our eclipse period. And during eclipse, you should not make any rash decisions, because those decisions will be hard to reverse back, will be hard to change. Now, and last, about your third house, Mars in the third house. Third house is, as I said, it's our surrounding people. Your circle of friends is changing. And interestingly, until April, it's sort of a changing. You might starting from September, communicating with totally different people and new friends, sort of small circle, kind of. You are changing sort of, people that you communicate daily. My dear Taurus, whatever it is, it's very interesting. Please leave in comments what is it about, what will be, it all will be about. Now, let's talk about eclipses. 18th of September, we have our lovely full moon lunar eclipse, of course. Eclipses are amazing tools of the universe, they're like elevators. They put us on a, let's say, rocket ship to to the point where we already have to be now. But of course, for human reasons, we are not, because as humans we are a bit slow, a bit indecisive, and all the stuff. But according to universe's calculations, we already must have been there. That's why universe has this amazing tool as eclipse, and eclipses, they make fast change in our life. And mm, like in most of the cases, it's like drastic changes, shocking changes. We won't have, like, in a split second sort of changes. Now, I will make a whole separate video on this eclipse because it's a huge topic and I would like to give you more information on that. But for now, I would like to briefly mention what is it about. Now, full moon here, it's a full moon lunar eclipse. Now, full moons are all about conclusions. They bring conclusions to some situation, or they put light, like your attention to some situation that you need to make a decision there. And because it's eclipse, this full moon has a power of 10 full moons. And it has a influence of a very long period influence. Now, this full moon's message might have been brought to you already in August or in end of July, or it won't be even September. You will get the news only in October or November. That's how long eclipse can influence our life. So you never know when eclipse knocks on your door. My dear Tauruses. Now, I know the situation, of when this eclipse exactly brought already news in August, and it was already July too. So, you should not wonder why this eclipse's messages happened already earlier, because always allow eclipses to bring the messages 2 months before and 2 months after. During the whole this period, anytime eclipse might knock on your door, my dear Tauruses, if it's not already done so. Now, this eclipse is happening in your 11th house. 11th house is the house of future, house of your dreams and wishes, what you wish for yourself in your future. And also it's about your friendships, because 11th house are all those people, our social circle, with whom we communicate, socialize. And 11th house is, events kind of house, sort of collective and groups of people on interest, let's say. Now, it's happening in your 11th house at 25 degrees. Now, those of you who are born 16th of May, pretty much by the end of the Taurus season, plus or minus 5 days, will be affected the most by this eclipse. You will be under scrutiny of the universe, my dear Taurus. And this eclipse will fall in a very close conjunction with the ruler of the eclipse, Neptune, planet of magic and imagination, also planet of illusions and delusions. It's a bit of foggy planet. An eclipse in general, even without Neptune, is an event in astrology that makes a dust. You don't see the road, you don't see the way. So September and October is the month when you have to wait. Better to wait. I suggest you, as your astrologer, to wait to make the decision. I also would like to mention that during eclipses, you usually don't have power over the situations that are falling in your life, but you have the power how you act. That's why in this case, better pause, better stay, and believe me, it will be hard not to act, because eclipses usually there is an element of urgency. You would want to, decide something fast and never see it again. But at the same time, I suggest you really hold on your decision up until November and go with the flow. See how the things will fall. And they will fall, let's say falling only by the, end of October. So by then you will see more clear picture of what has happened actually. That's why better to wait with any eclipses, and especially this one, because this eclipse is conjunct with Neptune. Even more fog there, because Neptune is the planet of fog, when there is nothing visible, very low visibility, let's say. And this eclipse will get a harsh beam from Jupiter, planet of luck and happiness. Now, Jupiter is itself a very happy planet, but it won't like that eclipse somehow. Between them there will be argument, and Jupiter will be in your house of money, my dear Tauruses. But Jupiter also naturally rules another money house in your natal chart, 8th house. Now, you see how here, like, materialistic things are involved, like money things involved. Seems like there is a wish, but there is not enough resources. Kind of this situation. Or there is a friend and there is a money and there is a situation. And you could come up with so many examples, but I'm just giving you the topic. It might be, let's say you want to visit a friend, but then at the same time you don't have resources to do so, or you I don't know, your friend wants to visit you, or your friend doesn't have resources, some sort of this, or maybe your friend might need a help from you, financial help. But at the same time, the whole this situation around this eclipse is more on an emotional level, mental sort of battle kind of there, insecurity there. Because second house, is our also, it's not only materialistic house, it's all about our self-worth, our self-confidence, our self-value. Money and these things, they are related because how much we value ourselves, that's how much we earn money. Did you ever notice the relation between them? I'm like, in my case, I 100% agree that on this statement. And astrology, that's why it puts these two things under one house, second house. That's your self-love also. Now, self-respect, how much you, let's say, your self-worth. And here, 11th house is also house of future, your wishes and dreams. There in some of you guys, like cases, it might be a tension there, like emotional tension or mental kind of tension or insecurity, like in the face of like saying I'm not worth it, or this future is impossible, or something like this. I think you quite got my point, my dear Tauruses. Now, this is only one situation. 11th house is a big house, and also it's all about achievements. Like when it's a harvesting result house. When we are awarded something, let's say, and popularity, like for some efforts, you will get some sort of title, let's say, or a prize or nomination. Now, it might be your case too. And here again, there might be a situation that at the same time, that award won't be, let's say, awarded to you, and that's why you might have actually, you might you start self-doubting. That's not good. This eclipse is a bit of emotional. I suggest you just, sit back and watch. Don't act. You might react, you might cry, you might be happy, you might laugh, you might do whatever is there, but don't make any rash decisions, and don't put into the situation, let's say, yourself. But of course, eclipses will put you there, but at the same time, try to come out as a winner. Try to love yourself and give to the events or whatever will be happening there by eclipses to sort of other perspective, to look at them from the different angle, and just wait until November. Now, anyhow, I will do more deeper video, let's say, with more information, because this is a very strong eclipse, separate video, so stay tuned on that. And also, one thing to add here, I would like to that, karmic planets, heavy planets, will be supportive anyhow of that eclipse in a materialistic way, let's say. And karmic planets, they are more like on subconscious mind. The one which is situated in your first house and the one which is situated in your ninth house. So it seems like faith will be the saving force for you, will be the saving strength. Have faith, my dear Taurus. Believe in your future and believe in a better and in a more philosophical way of life. And it seems like you will have this sort of gut feeling, my dear Tauruses. Now, anyhow, I'm more than sure you are in a safe hands by the universe. So we'll talk about this eclipse on another video. Let's now move to Sun. On 22nd of September, we have Sun moving into your 6th house, house of work, house of health. Now, day-to-day activities. As I said in the beginning, Mercury on 26th of September will also move into your 6th house. Now, your house of work will get activated by the end of September. Seems like you will, your mind and your heart might come back across what you do daily. For some of you, it might be about work, and for some of you, it might be about your health or even pets. Because 6th house is our pets, who we take care of, because 6th house is such a huge house where we do daily things, and also people who we take care and people who work for us, like assistants or nannies for our kids, or anyone like, I don't know, working in the house or helping you at work. Those people are here. You might totally, let's say, your mind might get busy by the end of September on those topics. And also your routine, day-to-day routine, and how to solve the problems. And 23rd of September, lovely and sweet Venus, your ruler, my dear Taurus, planet of love and beauty, will move into your 7th house. Now it will be, end of the September will be the time to enjoy with your one and only, with your sweetheart, with your spouse, because 7th house is committed relationship house. Those are, those Tauruses who have let's say, wife or husband or long-term partner will enjoy the period the most, because Venus here bringing love into your committed love partnership house. And also for single Tauruses, or it might be also about business partners. Seventh house is all about partnerships that are on a signature level. When we get married, we sign papers. When we go into business like agreement, we sign papers with our business partners. That's why those people are here in your seventh house. And Venus hitting on 23rd of September, giving you more enjoyment with those people. Let's say more pleasure there. We all love Venus in the seventh house, because seventh house, it's a love house. And Venus here, goddess of love, coming into your love house, my dear Tauruses. Have faith in September, and wish you the best September possible. And don't forget to check your rising sign and moon sign to get the full picture of the month. Stay positive, stay happy. Love you all, and bye bye.